Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Josh and Jason Monday Christian and Conspiracy Podcast Show. I am your host, Josh Monday. If you don't know me, I'm a Christian rapper, devoted husband, father, and Army veteran. I'd like to introduce you to my co-host. He's a Christian, devoted husband, and father. What's up, Jason? How's it going, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing? How's everybody doing today? Just got back out of a fantasy football draft. I know that probably doesn't matter to anybody else, but man, it's pretty
Cool.
fun, dude. I like it.
Awesome.
We all need our distractions, brother.
I know.
Yeah, I don't got any. So this is it's been a while seeing a lot of my friends from my grow up. So we've had a league for about 10 years now. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, you guys have been doing that for a long time. It's good for you to keep your connection with your.
Well, it's like our Facebook. It's like an old person's Facebook. It's like my 40-year-old man's Facebook type of thing. It's like, hey, how you doing? 40s. He's like, oh, I've been just chilling, just hanging out with my friends, and then you get to draft, and then you bet money, and then
All right,
the best.
It's all good.
Yeah,
all good. Yeah, having a good time.
I just miss all my friends. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. It's good you guys get together every once in a while. But
yeah.
Okay, guys. So we have today's special guest for you, Flat Earth Bob. If you guys want to check out his that's funny what it says on the top. Check out his Instagram. So it's Flat Earth Bob, or you can look up, it says space is fake and gay. So yeah, you can look it up that way, or you could put Flat Earth Bob. What's up, dude? How's it going?
What's going on, guys?
Thank you for joining us, brother. I really appreciate it. And I thank you for the short notice. I really appreciate you jumping on. And and check out his page, guys. I'll have him shout it out after I introduce our other guests here. So we also have Maple. He's actually one of our listeners, and he hit me up and said, hey man, can I give you a call? I said, yeah. We talked on the phone. Super nice guy and interesting gentleman, and he loves the Bible. So I was like, yeah, man. He comments on some of our stuff, which we really appreciate. What's going on, Maple? How's it going, brother?
Oh no, I'm good. I haven't done this in when was the last time I did this? 2-3 months ago.
Okay.
An atheist, and we had a different talk, and by the end of it, they were fuming in the head.
Okay, you were talking to an atheist on a podcast. Okay.
Yeah, no, they were nice about it though. They were nice about it, at least some of them. This is part of kind of like what I do. I've done different podcasts with different. I'm all over atheist pages on YouTube.
Wow.
Since I keep myself private, no one really knows about me really. But yeah, I've had Professor Stick make a video about me. I've had the Non-Sequiturs make a video about me. I've had Fight the Flat Earth make a video about me. I've had so many people literally make videos about me.
Okay, so you just keep private. Okay, well that's cool. Like me, bro.
Hey, when you talk though, Maple, I hear like a lot of clicking, like it's like the sound of like clicking when it goes through when he's talking. I don't know if it's like your mic or something, but something keeps clicking. I'm not.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I heard a little bit too. Are you on your phone or on a microphone?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yeah,
that's good. It's just when you start talking, it starts to click a little bit. I was just wondering
it might be. I got some work done with my mouth, so it might be that. Okay. I don't. It's either my mic or it's that, but I don't know.
Right there, I heard it right there again. It's like static.
Try not to move it. It's probably because if you have headphones in, sometimes it goes. But anyways, all right, guys. Well, we're gonna try to do a little flat Earth from a biblical perspective, okay, guys? And also, obviously a little bit of secular too. I think Moral Bob is great at that. And we'll just kind of kick it off and have a good podcast. So what I want everybody to know first off is like I say, man, as a Christian, I like to filter science through the Bible and not filter the Bible through science. I believe the word of God over any atheist scientist who thinks they're smarter than God and trying to prove that he does not exist. What happens is if we ask people, does Joe Biden lie? They're going to say yes. If I ask you, does Nancy Pelosi lie? They're going to say yes. Does the CIA lie? They say yes. What about the FBI? Yes. Police? Yes, they lie sometimes too. What about sheriffs? Yes, they lie. But if you ask them if NASA lies, they're going to be like, no, bro, NASA doesn't lie. No way. So what we need to understand, we need to get over that hump and understand that every single person in the government is going to lie, especially someone that's getting $55 million a day. Okay, guys, think about that. So I just want you guys to know that. And I just kind of want to go over some Bible verses, you know, and then you guys can come off. But first, I like to go over what the scientists say. Okay, I think that's the best thing to do. And you guys can comment on this as I'm saying it, you guys in the panel, and just whatever makes you mind spin like it does to me when I read this off, you guys can just comment. So they say the Earth is at a 23.4 degree axis, okay, and it's spinning at 1,000 degrees. I mean, sorry, 1,000 miles an hour, okay. It's rotating around the sun at 66,600 miles an hour, okay, guys. Now, a bullet moves at 1,800 miles an hour. Okay, guys, you guys have to understand that. So we're rotating around the sun 30 times faster than a bullet. You guys understand that? 30 times faster than a bullet. And you could walk outside right now, look up at the sky, and it's going to look the same as it did. Okay. It's basically, it looks like we're not moving one bit. Okay. And also an earthquake. If there's like a 3.0 earthquake in Riverside and I'm located in Rialto, you're gonna feel it. If the earth moves, you feel it. Okay, that's plain to see. But they're saying we're moving at 66,000 miles an hour and 1,000 mile an hour rotation, right? And we're not feeling anything. I don't know how that doesn't shock you guys. It shocks me. I think it's because they try to tell us when we're like, you know, when we're kids, about this type of stuff, and we just don't understand what's really going on. You know, they say that the moon orbits at a speed of 2,200 miles an hour, which is faster than a bullet. Okay. The moon is moving at 2,200 miles an hour, faster than a bullet. But you look up and you see the moon and it's sitting there for a long period of time and it's barely moving, but it's orbiting us faster than a bullet. Okay, guys? The universe moves through space.
I haven't heard it broken down in a while. It's just I'm reliving how silly it is when you really start looking into it. Like it just starts getting really silly.
Seriously, yeah, it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, okay, here's another thing. This part is the part that has to just blow everybody's mind. I have to make sure I have this correct. I think it's 440,000 miles an hour. I believe the sun is supposedly moving, and all of us are chasing it. Okay,
it's a guesstimate, and depending on what scientists you talk to, it's anywhere from 400 to 600,000.
Okay, so I have 525,000 in my notes. I just wanted to make sure I was correct. So there's a guesstimate. So it's moving also, and then the whole entire Milky Way galaxy is moving at 1.3 million miles an hour. Okay, guys.
2.2 now.
Oh, now it's 2.2. Okay, now we're 2.2 million miles an hour. Okay, guys.
Then how do you track constellations? Then how do you
They're just
gravity?
Changing it.
Yeah,
gravity.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm just saying, like, yeah, but how do you track? If you're going that fast, how do you track constellations? How do you? You wouldn't be able to spot them. You wouldn't even be able to see them. They'd be going.
Dude, they'd just be a blur in the sky.
Yeah,
just be a blur in the sky.
I'm not stupid. I mean, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but it's like, man, why do you try to?
I mean, I have to assume once upon a time we all believed this until we looked into what we believe.
Yeah.
Like we just believe the heliocentric model until you look into it, and then it's like, wait, this is what I believe by believing this.
It's because
we
numbers are taught to you
trust.
young. Go ahead.
We have trust as kids. That's all it is. Like, you know, as a kid, why would you think anyone would lie to you? It's like, oh. And then you find out later, it's like, oh, well, they lied about Santa Claus. Well, if they lied about that, they can lie about anything else.
Well, when did it start getting taught widely in schools? When was flat Earth actually just totally wiped out of the whole?
Depends on if you're talking about Catholic or if you're talking about like regular school. So Catholic school, I believe some people said that it was taught all the way to like the 1935 or 1940.
See, that's pretty close, dude.
But
that's pretty
they
close.
would teach both. What they would do is they would teach the flat Earth and they would teach the heliocentric,
which is actually it's pretty cool because you get both sides and then you get to make your own decision, not something slammed down your throat constantly. And you're like, okay, well, this is what I got to believe because this is what's taught to me. But they have different versions of how the Indians got wiped out. They got different versions of how like things went on. It's like, I know the truth, but you say like, oh, wiping out the buffalo killed the Indians. Okay, that's a lie. We all
dude,
know we all know smallpox came in and was a big disease and wiped out half of everything over here because people didn't know what sickness was over here. But not now. You have a different version of how history was back then. It was in the primitive days, they say, of Egypt or something like that. They probably believed the earth was flat. And
they did. Bro, they did believe the earth was flat. Dude, if you look at every single cosmology of every single culture.
I just gotta fix something real quick.
Okay.
We don't believe the earth is flat. We know it is.
There you go.
There you go.
Yes, there we go. Okay. So every single cosmology, Jason, if you look at their cosmology, the Egyptians, if you look at what their cosmology was, it was a dome and it was flat. If you look at, there's like 26 different cultures you can look at. There's like pictures of each one. I can't just pull it up on here.
Yeah, I know which one's the correct one. I can't say I figured it out. God kind of showed me which one's the correct one. I can prove it physically. It's not hard.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to see it or know about it, just ask.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it right now. As soon as I get done going over the science stuff. Okay, so we got now the closest star. This is what's really gonna trip you guys out. The closest star is 4.4 light years away. It's gonna be Alpha Centauri. Okay, 1 light year is gonna be 6 trillion miles away. Okay, guys, 1 light year, and it's 4.4. So you have to times 4.4 by 6. The closest star is 24 trillion miles away. What you guys need to understand is 1% of 1 trillion is 10 billion. Okay. So to even conceive that number, we can barely even conceive that number. It's insanity. Okay.
I like breaking the numbers down into things people can digest. So if you put it into time that people can understand, what you tell them is a million seconds is 11 days. A billion seconds is 32 years. And a trillion seconds is 32,000 years.
Yeah, so think about that, guys. That's a great breakdown, brother. Thank you. I'm going to put that in my notes. Thank you.
So that's how many a trillion is. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
So how far away is the closest galaxy, they say? The closest galaxy is 2.5 million light years away. Think about that, guys. Now, as we're going through and breaking down the Bible, you're going to understand how far away that would place God. If everything, as we know, everything in the Bible, I believe, is 100% on the up and up and true. So if God placed the moon, sun, and the stars in the firmament, like we're going to talk about, and God's throne is above the firmament, you're going to see how far away that they want to place God. Okay. So, all right. So there's a scientific trinity I want to talk to you guys about before we get into the Bible. It's going to be the Big Bang Theory. Okay. It's going to be evolution and the heliocentric model. All three of those have to be correct for the heliocentric model to work. Okay, guys, all that for the Big Bang, for the heliocentric model, and for evolution, all that stuff would have to be correct for all that to work. So you can't be like, I'm a Bible believer and I don't really believe the Bible, but I believe the Big Bang is true and evolution is true. For me, I don't believe that you can connect all those together because it just doesn't work out. 13.8 billion years ago is what they say. And it was also by a Jesuit priest, George Lemaitre. Okay. So you guys got to think about that. As conspiracy theorists, we know that whatever comes from a Jesuit or from something like that, we know not to trust it. What's up, Jason? I see your hand up.
What do you guys believe? I don't know if Maple wants to go first or Moral Bob, but what do you believe how in creation and flat earth and how it goes? What would you base your strongest argument on anything that you could do with how we're talking, like how to put it? So I don't know if Maple wants to go first. What do you believe in? Do you believe in that we're billions of years old? Do you believe that we're
No, I don't believe that. What I believe is what the Bible says. It's only a few thousand years old now. We can make estimates and all that, but at the end of the day, We only have estimates. Based off what I can tell, it looks like we might be a few hundred years off, but I don't care. A few hundred years compared to a billion years off, I'll take a few hundred.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Me
I don't want to
too.
hear these atheists say, oh, it's 3 billion. Oh, now it's 2 billion. Now it's 4 billion. It's like, no, that makes no sense. But now you wanted to know my strongest evidence?
Yeah. Well, yeah. What would you use it based an argument off of? Not even an argument, just like how you would come with
My strongest evidence for one, it's physical reality. Everyone can see it, but it's the stumps of Yggdrasil that got cut down. They're on the earth, and then the other one is outer darkness. The place where where atheists and non-believers are tortured. It's on the earth. You can see the pictures. It's on the internet. If you want, you can literally dig into it, and you can hear their screams if you
Okay.
want. But
Are you talking about in the earth, right?
uh, it's on top of it, but it's just covered in dirt and water. But anyone can dig in. I'm not joking. Anyone can dig in to it. All you're gonna do is hear a bunch of screaming, and it's gonna get really hot. That's all that's gonna happen. No one's gonna be able to save them. None of us are gonna be able to get them out. Judged and buried. I mean, I have the recording of the screams and where they dug, all that shit. Okay.
Oh, okay. But Maple, are you talking about in the earth, or what are you talking about? I don't
Oh,
know.
you don't know
heard
what?
this.
Okay.
I've heard this recording. I've heard this recording before. I think I've heard something like that where they're digging into I forgot how they went pretty far deep in the earth with a microphone.
It was 8. They went 8 miles into the earth. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I think I've heard
Maple?
that. Yeah, you do hear screaming. You do hear like kind of
You
like
said outer darkness. So are you talking about outside of the firmament or something? You're talking about
Okay.
in the earth.
No, it's okay. You guys don't know about this.
I don't know about it.
Basically.
Yeah, you're gonna have
It's
to
okay.
explain it.
I have to like teach you guys of what God has taught me so far.
Okay.
Outer darkness, you can read it in the Bible where God says there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. I'm pretty sure you know that first.
I know that, yes. Go ahead.
Well, it doesn't give you a description of what it is. You just know it's a place of torture. That's it. Well, when you read the book, it's called the Pistis of Sophia. Jesus tells you what it is. He tells you it's a giant snake that circles the earth. Now I have the pictures if anyone wants to see it. I mean, I have videos on the internet, but it's called the Snake of Outer Darkness. You can just YouTube it, and basically, there's a giant snake with that circles the earth. It has its tail in its mouth, and people get put in there when they die, and they just constantly go in a circle and get tortured over and over and over again. And you can literally dig into it.
Where's it at in the actual Bible instead of the book of Sophia?
It'd be in Matthew, if I'm correct. I think it's Matthew 10.
There's something in there about it. I've heard what you're saying, but can we pull that up? Because I don't want to just be saying stuff. I like to see it in the Bible.
Yeah, and then also Daniel 4:11.
Daniel 4:11.
We have. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, let's make sure because this I don't want to.
I know you never heard of this.
Yeah, and I don't want to be quoting like Book of Sophia and all that, whatever that is. I want to quote just out of the Bible because I know that maybe some of that stuff could be. Is that where's that book out of? What is that?
Oh no, it's a separate text. It's kind of like the book, kind of like the book of Enoch, the book of Joshua, the book of Jubilee. It's a separate text.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but it's for the outer darkness.
I've heard this before, but I just want to make sure that you're correct. What is it in Matthew? Do you know?
Matthew 8. It's Matthew 8:12. There should be weeping and that they should be cast out. They're going to be, from what I know, they're going to be thrown in with basically Azazel and the other angels.
But the children of kingdom shall be cast out cast out into outer darkness. They should be. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now, here's where the big one comes in. Now, remember how I told you there's a giant. Remember I told you it's a giant snake that circles the earth. Okay. Now, do you know what Yggdrasil is? Do you know what Yggdrasil is?
Yggdrasil? No, I don't.
Okay. Have you ever seen that video of Flat Earth about the giant trees?
Is it? Are you talking about is it the history of Flat Earth or something like that or no?
Okay, you haven't seen it. Okay, well, in the Bible, it literally talks about a giant tree that used to reach all the way to the sky.
Which is
all the way
Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel.
Tree. That was a vision, though, right?
Yeah, that was a vision. Here's the thing: by the mouth of two witnesses, one can establish truth. I'm pretty sure you know Rob Skiba.
Yes.
Okay. Well, in Ezekiel 31, it literally says there was a giant tree. There is no vision in that one. So we have two witnesses: Ezekiel and then Nebuchadnezzar, who had his dream. Okay. Now it says in the same verse that the tree got cut down. Got cut down. Okay, so that means the stumps of the tree should be on the earth, right? There was really a tree that reached out. The stump should be on the earth. Now, if anyone would like to see the tree, just type this in: Noah's Titans before the flood. It's gonna sound weird. Attack of the snails. You'll understand after you see it. But
Okay.
you can put in Noah's Titans before the flood, attack of the snails. You're
Okay.
gonna see the stump of the tree right there. It's gonna be cut down, and I'm gonna leave. There's giant leaves that are like 1,000 feet long, and people are finding all this stuff all over the internet. And
All right,
it's
well, guys.
So that's your strongest argument for it, then, dude. So that's what you got. That's
it's physical. Everyone can see it. I can literally
well,
post.
I know.
That's me.
No. Jason,
I know, but this is going like into a spot that I don't know anything about.
Yeah, it's okay.
I didn't
No,
study
it's okay.
this stuff, bro. I didn't
No,
study.
no.
I have no idea some of the stuff you're saying.
It's all
like,
good. So just
I'm not trying to be.
So if you guys want to see that, you can look it up. Okay, guys. So what do you explain?
Yeah, I know this sounds crazy. I know that what I'm saying sounds crazy, but you can just look it up. Noah's Titans before the flood.
I've heard of the dragon going. I've heard that before. I've heard that someone's told me that before. I've heard that.
Basically what happens is before the flood, that dragon, that's the giant snake that was alive. Jesus Christ had to kill it. Jesus Christ had to kill it because the thing was they basically started off small and it grew to that size because of what the angels did on the earth. After when the Nephilim were on the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you read the book of Enoch?
Yeah. Jason has.
Yeah, I've read it thoroughly. I've read that thing like 3 or 4 times.
Okay, that part where it says they began to sin against the animals, the beasts, and the field, the reptiles.
Yeah,
all that. My belief is that they began to sin against, like, literally the animal, and they kept growing and growing and growing and growing. That's why some of these animals are freaking huge. That's why there's giant snakes around, giant frogs. There's giant snails. That's why. Yeah, it's in the video. You can see like their bodies, and you can see the.
If you guys want to look into that, you guys could check it out. We'll get back into
what about you, Martin Bob? What is your take on
what's your best proof, Jay? Is that what you're asking? What are you asking him?
I just said like what would be your strongest argument to use it for flat Earth and for I'm sorry, I got sidetracked from a lot of this stuff.
Well, my strongest proof for the flat Earth is pretty simple. There's no observable or measurable curve.
There you go.
There's absolutely nothing that proves that we're on a ball except for pictures from a corrupt organization created by Nazis and cultists with Aleister Crowley and Jack Parsons. So that's our trusted source. Like, really, the people that killed the Jews and cult members. That seems sketchy at best.
No,
and then all observable reality is of a flat, non-rotating plane, and the sky's just a clock. Like, it's obviously just a clock. So
and then water always finds its level. So if you're that's something that people should probably look into for sure.
Right. But I tell people the simple fact that there is a term called sea level is proof that we're on a flat stationary plane.
Josh,
yes, sir.
Remember I was watching one of your videos, and I remember you talking about the throne being above
the firmament,
where God is, right?
Yeah.
Above the firmament, right?
Yep.
Would you like to know its location?
Would I like to know its location?
Yeah, where the throne is the location. I can give you some idea where it is.
All right, where's it at?
Okay, here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go. Hold on, let me make sure I got the verse right. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm getting the verse right.
That's good. It's better to read straight from the Bible, but go ahead. So I have Amos 9:6, and I also have Ezekiel 10:1, and I have another verse from Ezekiel, and then Revelation 4:6. What verses would you like to go?
I want you to go to Revelation 4:3 if you want to.
Yeah, so 4:3. This is going to be all right. Let me see. Revelation 4:3. Let's do it. Okay, go ahead.
Revelation 4:3. And the one who sat there had the appearance of jasper and ruby, and around the throne was a rainbow like an emerald. Okay? Encircling the throne. Okay. So now we have a rainbow that's green, basically, encircling the throne. Do you know what that sounds like?
Yeah,
Aurora
like the aurora
Borealis.
lights.
The
Yeah.
Aurora Borealis, yeah.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah. It's the Aurora Borealis. So it's like,
Yep.
okay.
So I
basically
think
God,
if God is there, if God, like, I think God is energy, not like a physical being. But even that's neither here nor there. I was out in the hill country looking at the sky a couple weekends ago or last weekend, and I started having some realizations, and Polaris is the center. If the Bible is true, and even if, what I think is true, the throne is just on the other side of the firmament from Polaris. Like, that is indicating where God is,
which is the north,
and everything spins around it because he is God.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
wow. I never thought of that, but you got a point. Let's assume he's sitting on the throne and everything is spinning around it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's how he could watch the whole thing. He could watch all of it.
Well,
all of it once.
If you guys look at Isaiah, that's a good point for Isaiah, where he's talking about let me go to that Isaiah verse real quick. So Isaiah 40:22 is going to be okay. So it says, "Have you not known? Have you not heard? Has it not been told to you from the beginning? Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain and spreads them out like a tent to dwell in." So if he's looking down on us like grasshoppers, and he's above the throne, right, or he's above the firmament looking down on us, think about that. And then the circle of the earth, which obviously most flat earthers and everybody believes that it's a circle, right? And he's just looking at it. So there's no
and it's a tent to dwell in.
Yeah.
The kinds of tents that they had were yurts,
which is like a dome.
Yep.
And they put it, and I never took in the army, I've never put a tent on a ball. That's for sure. I have put a tent on a flat ground, and you try to find the flattest ground you can find, you know what I mean? So, and he spreads them out like a tent to dwell in, which is amazing. But, and then guys, I do have verses that'll tell you that God's throne is above the firmament. Okay. So, Ezekiel 10:1, it says, "Then I looked, and behold, in the firmament that there was above the head of the cherubims were appeared over them as a sapphire stone, as the appearance of the likeness of a throne." There's also another verse in Ezekiel where he's looking up and he sees a man on a throne. Okay. Like the likeness of a man on the throne. Also we have Revelation 4:6. This is when the people are up there that it says Revelation 4:6, this is when John is up there, okay, in heaven. "And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and into the midst of the throne and round about the throne, and the four beasts full of eyes before and behind." So it's talking about a sea of glass. So also in Job, it talks about molten glass is what the firmament is made out of. Okay, guys. So we need to understand that. Now,
to anyone that wants to test this out, you can do this real simple. Any atheist or anyone out there that's listening, you can do this real simple. Take a piece of glass, go outside, put it in sunlight. What's going to happen? It's going to create a rainbow. So let me ask this question. Why is there a rainbow in the sky sometimes? Because there's a glass dome. It's that simple.
Right. That could also be explained with the mist that's in the air, because you can make it happen with a water hose. So scientifically, that doesn't necessarily prove a glass dome, just because of the refraction through something that is like a liquid glass, which is water, because it refracts it too. I'm neither here nor there on the argument, but as the perpetual skeptic that I am, I have to be able to argue both sides. So both things have to kind of be possible.
Yeah.
I'll take God's word on it. I trust him at this point, because
I trust no one.
Yeah, I trust the only person I really trust 100% is God. Everyone else is like, because we're all humans, so we're all susceptible to so many things. So it's just like, I'm just gonna trust God, leave everyone else kind of like middle.
So I think what gets me, Jason, if you want to ask me, is the order that God created the heavens and the earth. Okay, that's what gets me. If it's so we have day one, he created the oceans, or he created the heaven and the earth. That's a lowercase h2 right there. So I think that's interesting. I think that it could be for me, because some people believe in a gap theory. I see it's a lowercase h. I believe that could be the sky, and earth can be land, or it could, that's what earth is in Hebrew, is land. Okay. So I believe that he created the foundations on day one and the sky. This is what I personally believe. Day two, he created the oceans and the firmament. So the oceans, he separated the waters from the water. So there's water above the firmament, and then he created the oceans. Okay. Day three, he created the dry land and vegetation. It wasn't until day four he created the moon, the sun, and the stars also. So that, to me, what was the earth rotating around on day three, right? It wasn't rotating around the sun. So I think it's,
well, and you can't say moon, because it doesn't say moon in the Bible. It just says a light for the day and a lesser light for night.
No, it does say moon. It says the moon.
Not in the original text. It just says a light for the day and a lesser light for night.
Oh,
it does
okay.
not specifically say the moon.
Oh, really? Okay.
I have some evidence to the contrary. How do I say this? Based off the evidence that I'm reading, not just from, because it does say, yeah, it is a great light. He created a great light for the day and a great light for the night. Well, when you read the Pistis of Sophia, it says that the sun and moon are actually like kind of like discs, and they're like kind of like placed up. That's why we can't see the back of the moon. That would explain why we can't see the back of the moon. If they're disc and they're like kind of placed up there, it's like, okay, well, that explains everything. You just put them at a certain angle in a certain direction, and everyone only sees the front of it.
So, Moral Bob, it does say stars though? Does it say sun, light, and then stars? What
From what I remember, the last time I read Genesis, which wasn't that long ago.
What do you mean the original? Like, are you talking about the original, like
the Septuagint, like the original?
Yeah, but I'm reading right now to my Genesis King James version. It doesn't say sun and moon.
Right. It says a light
for
the day and a lesser light for night.
It does say at the
talking about the sun and moon. It's just talking about
it does. It does.
Yeah, but we can't. You gotta, to appease the people that are going to argue with you. You gotta go with the simplest things. It doesn't say the moon specifically, and there is a lot of ancient writing.
It doesn't say
supposedly there are some ancient writings that say there's a time before the moon.
Yeah, but I agree with you. It doesn't say in my King James version. It says a light for the day.
My personal jury is still out on whether or not the moon is man-made, and something that's just there as a distraction, or if it's something else.
No. God made it. No. God made it. It's real simple.
But see, also the Jewish people back then, they didn't. Their evening was night to day, not day to night. You know what I'm saying? Their one day was evening to evening. So it wasn't. It was weird that they had a different way they did it. So how do I know that this? See, the sun and the moon and Jupiter and Mars, and some of these stuff are gods.
Mm-hmm.
So you recognize it doesn't say anything in the Bible about anything other than created. It doesn't say I created Mars, I created Venus. It doesn't say anything like that. It says what he created, and he's pretty specific about it. He doesn't go anything past that. It doesn't go to start naming other things off. So it doesn't say a moon or son of the moon, dude. So sorry, dude. He's right about that, Josh. He doesn't say that, but he does say he created inside the firmament.
Two great lights, though, right? Two great lights.
Well, it was a
greater light for all the day.
Great light.
Now, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
In other verses, it does say moon, the moon, sun, and the stars. All okay. So you're just talking about the counter of that. What if somebody? Okay, I get that. It's all right. It's all good.
That might be some Mandela effect for you, Josh.
No, it's not a Mandela effect.
That might be a Mandela effect for you, brother.
No, it's not, bro. It's every other version says the moon, sun, and the stars also. But anyway, it's okay. It's all good. So we'll get past that. So a greater light to rule the day and a greater light to rule the night. Now, what that does also is it separates that the moon is a light and the sun is a light. That's what I personally believe. I mean, I don't see any other light in the sky, so I would just place it to that. So let's just for this argument or whatever, let's say it is just the moon and the sun in that verse. Okay, so it doesn't say anything about the sun shining off the moon and anything. You know what I mean? So it's two great lights. One to rule the day, which would be the sun, and the lesser light to rule the night, which would be the moon. So it's interesting because the shadow of the moon is going to be warmer than the light from the moon. So I believe that it is two great lights. And also I've seen the sun out and I've seen the moon out at the same exact time, right, during the day, and I've seen the moon being like a half shadow.
But
like,
if we're going so fast, how come you only see one side of the moon? If we're going so quickly, you never see the other side of the moon. You never see it.
Their argument is it's gravitationally locked, but that's just such an asinine idea.
But if
everything else
is rotating.
Everything else in the entire in all of space
is rotating, but the moon.
Except
here's the
our
thing.
moon.
Here's what destroys gravity: the core of the Earth. They can't even prove the core of the Earth. So if you can't prove the core of the Earth, gravity doesn't exist, and they can't do it because you would have to dig 4,000 miles.
They try to with the Cavendish experiment, but the Cavendish experiment was a failed experiment. They don't include that Cavendish almost abandoned the experiment because he couldn't get definitive results. And then when he died, he had a colleague that took over the experiment and got so frustrated with the lack of results that he smashed the contraption. So the experiment never got
I didn't know
finished.
about this.
Yeah, it never got finished. And the what they do now is just a bastardization of the Cavendish experiment. It's not the Cavendish experiment, it's pseudoscience, but they hang like a single string from a ceiling and a bar with weights on either end and let it sit steady, and then they put weights on like opposing sides of the bar on either end, and they say, oh well, it pulls it towards it, and that's how you know that mass creates gravity. And I'm like, if you can see that, then that's scalable, and you should be able to take like a 5-pound weight and a 100-pound weight and put them on opposite sides and watch it repeatedly move to the 100-pound weight, and then switch and put the 100-pound weight on the other side and watch it go to that side then. But they never do that because it would prove that their experiment is bullshit. So it's just pseudoscience. There's no evidence.
I'm gonna say something that's just because I say stuff that just weirds people out. I'm just gonna say, because I've said this before on other podcasts. Science is, to me, at this point, after all my research, science is completely fake, all of it. Now,
well, it's all taken from the 7 sacred sciences, right? Which are all deceptions.
Yeah, but what I mean by science, because when I say this, atheists usually come at me and say, "What about technology? What about technology? With science, we have technology." I'm just like, no. Read the Book of Enoch. And technology comes from my religion.
Well, and technology is the worst thing that we've ever done as humanity. Like being quote unquote technologically advanced has made us go backwards. Like spiritually, physically, we have gone backwards.
No, because here's the truth. If let's say we were to grab a random person, just a random person, regular person, and put them back in time with all the knowledge they have now, it's like, okay, how are you going to create a cell phone or a laptop for the people? They have no damn idea. They understand what kind of they need to do, but they have no damn idea. They're just going to be like, how do I do this? They're not smart. They just have technology to use. But the reality is they don't even know how to build it themselves.
Oh, no. You take 99% of the people in modern cultures, in modern countries, and you go plop them in the middle of the woods with just like a lighter and a knife, they're dead in 3 days.
You had to have military training or some type of.
Not me. I ain't dead in 3 days.
Lighter and a knife. He said.
Pretty sure they'll last a little longer than 3 days, but some of them will eventually die. I know that.
You would never see me again, but I wouldn't die. Look, and just be like, sweet. This is everything I need to survive. I'll see y'all later.
Here's a spot in the Bible. It is part of the King James Bible. Okay, it does talk about the moon. Okay, so Joshua 10:12. It says, "Then spoke Joshua to the Lord in the day."
But that was after man named it the moon. Okay, because in the creation it didn't say that. God didn't name it the sun and the moon. Sorry.
It says, "Then spoke Joshua to the maybe you would have corrected Joshua here because he's speaking to the Lord right here. He's praying to him and he makes a stop. So listen. Then spoke Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up to the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel's son, stand still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Asian. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is it not written in the book of Jasher? Now I went to the book of Jasher and saw, and it says the same thing. So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hadst not go down about a whole day.
That's
so
in
basically,
Chinese history too.
Yeah, it's in Chinese history. Yeah, where they were talking about how it was dark for like 2 days straight. They went to sleep, woke up, it was still dark, and the rest of the day was still dark.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing.
A longer day.
I think that's
well, they could have been further north.
No. We can mimic it here on Earth.
Right.
We can mimic stopping the sun and moon from moving here on Earth. We can make a smaller version of it.
Well, if you've heard of Micah Dank, I think on our show I don't know that I credit his.
He hasn't been on the show. No, sorry.
I don't know that I give him a ton of credit, but I take everything in, whether it's the Bible or like Micah Dank's version of the Bible where it's all about astrology. I just gather all this information and try to figure out what's going on. But he says that it meant that the sun stays in the same place degree wise, which is true. During that time of the year, the sun doesn't move north or south for 3 days.
Okay. Well,
no, for me it's real simple. The reason why is we have this thing. Do you know about the levitating clock? Do you know about that?
No.
Yeah, you could type this in on YouTube. It's called a levitating clock. Basically, it mimics the sun and moon, and they have like a little levitating ball, and it's like on the clock. It's literally levitating, and it just spins around. Just spins around in a circle, and just by pressing one button, they can make it stop. They can just leave it there floating by pressing one button. Okay.
Yeah, it's all about magnetic fields.
Yeah. If we can do that here, what can God do? He's smarter than us. He can make the sun and moon stop easy. All he has to do is press one button and the sun and moon stop. Yeah, that's all he has to do.
I think it's that, and I think it possibly is that literal. Like I have a game board theory that that we're really just kind of a game, and they're able to, very Hunger Games, like, all right, let's send a storm, let's do simulation this. And they're like, yeah.
Well, the interesting thing for me is that it doesn't say anything about stopping the Earth from rotating. That's the part that I think is interesting. It doesn't say I stopped the Earth from rotating, and then he would also have to say I stopped the moon from rotating, because the moon is orbiting us, and he would have to stop the Earth from moving. And what happened is hold on, Jason. Neil Tyson deGrasse said that if that happens, this is one of their scientists they love, and if we're not strapped to the Earth, you're gonna fly off the Earth. Okay, guys. So it doesn't say in the Bible that he stopped the Earth from moving and he stopped the moon from moving. He said he stopped the sun and the moon from moving. So I think that's the interesting take to take out of that one.
Yeah.
Also in Habakkuk, it says the same thing. This is Habakkuk 3:11. It says, the sun and moon stood still in their habitation. At the light of thine arrows they went, and the shining of thy glitter spear. I don't hear anywhere in the Bible. You guys could try to find it if you guys could. Find me a Bible verse that says that the Earth is spinning or the Earth is rotating around the sun. What it is we have to look. We also have to kind of look at who we're taking some of this information from. The Copernicus. There's some evidence that he was like an occultist. They even have a Freemason lodge named after him, right? It's called Copernicus, CHP 246.
I don't think he's a real person.
Well, he might not be. A lot of these people. Well, I think what I said on one of the podcasts is it's good that when they to find out what these people are about, these famous people. Why are they famous? Why do we know about them? They could be not real, or they could be people that are occultists.
Like, so you and the reason also like Pluto and like Socrates and these guys, you think they're real, or they?
I don't know, man. I don't. I can't prove it, right?
I can't believe history can be described. I can understand that. I can understand, like, hey, if you're gonna teach something and really hammer it away, just go from some. I
start my analysis with anything, whether it's history, the Bible, whatever. If it's true, then like
you move on from there.
These guys thought the Earth was flat, though. Right. Plato thought the Earth was flat. These guys were pretty smart dudes. And they were pretty in tune.
Oh, but haven't you heard of Aristophanes?
Yeah. There's pretty smart guys back then still. I like, I
want to show you guys how Copernicus. This is one of his books that he wrote. I want to show you guys how You could tell that he was an occultist and how he wanted to put the sun in the same part, the sun as God. And
yeah, we're revolving around that.
It says,
yeah, he wanted us to worship the sun and all that crap.
There we go. See, it says, in the middle of all sits sun, enthroned in the most beautiful temple. Could we place this luminary in any better position in which it can illuminate at the whole at once, as you rightly called the lamp, the mind, the ruler of the universe? Okay, I'm not even going to read the rest because it's
sun worship, right there.
Sun worship. So what you're going to find is, and then it says the earth has the moon at her service, as Aristotle says. So what it is, guys, is that's what most of these secret societies are about. I mean, is going to be like a lot of these other people that worship the planets, like Rome, when they're worshiping the planets. It's a lot about worshiping the sun, or Egypt, like the old Freemason Egyptian stuff is all worshiping the sun, Ra, you know what I mean, or Osiris, or you look at Apollo, or you look at Mithra. It's all worshiping the sun. Okay, guys. So it gets interesting. So you could see that even I've heard Isaac Newton too. I'm not 100% on this. I've just been reading about it. I'm not sure, but they say that Isaac Newton was also an occultist, right? Yeah. So they're not answering to the God of the Bible, like us as Christians. We're answering to God of the Bible, right? They're not answering to him. We're taught as conspiracy theorists and as Christians to not believe people that are occultists, obviously. I think as conspiracy theorists too, right? I don't know if most of us know that we're trying to expose Jesuits, we're trying to expose Freemasons, we're trying to expose Rosicrucians, the black nobility, the Illuminati. That's what most of us are trying to do, expose the evil. So if people are part of these organizations and they're telling us stuff about how the world is created, are we to believe them, or are we to believe the Bible? Okay, guys, that's what we need to understand. We're to believe the Bible. As Christians.
Did you see, there was this was years ago. I don't know if you were a flat earther yet, but years ago when flat earth first came out, I think like a year in, there's like this guy, he made like a video about Einstein, and he showed how fake Einstein was and how he's basically just another Bill Nye and a Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Just spews a whole bunch of bullcrap. And Nikola Tesla said the same thing. See, the difference,
Tesla might not be real either.
I think Nikola Tesla was real, because when you read about his stuff, it's like, oh well, how did you get all this knowledge, Tesla? Well, I was talking with entities, and that's what you hear in the Book of Enoch. That the reason we have this technology is because of the angels. So it's like, okay,
angels. Yeah,
Nikola Tesla. That means he was talking to a fallen angel, gave him the ideas to make all this technology, and he stuck with it through all the way through. And then, he made all this stuff. And, once he died, or they killed him, whichever one, took his information and they started to use it themselves. But, when it comes to deciding whether people existed, Bob, just assume they existed. Just assume they at least existed. You don't have to believe exactly what they said, but at least assume.
No, I don't assume anything, man. I can either prove it or I can't. So, in theory, did Nikola Tesla actually exist? Sure, cool, but I wasn't there. I don't know. And everybody that tells me that he existed are known liars. So everybody that wrote the history books, everybody that controlled everything, the Rothschilds, the Carnegies, the ones that controlled all the information for over 150 years at this point in time, they're all corrupt. So everything we get is corrupted.
I like bro. I like that. Just like anything that comes up, sometimes it's good to question a lot of stuff.
The reason why
question everything. Don't just take it as it is, and don't like the reason I'm sorry, mate, but I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. But go.
No. The reason why I say assume they exist is because think about today. They have the puppets of today. They have Neil deGrasse Tyson, Michio Kaku, Bill Nye. They have all these people that are just playing like they're scientists and playing like they're really smart. So it's like, okay, it could be the same for these guys. Einstein, he could just be an actor.
I understand.
That's how I take it. Okay,
yeah, but you can go meet these people today.
Yeah, because
you can't go meet. What if Nikola Tesla was a Bill Nye back in the day, just paid to?
I mean, that's possible too.
But I mean,
Thomas Edison stole his idea, they say, and
Shakespeare isn't real.
Yeah, and he might be.
Shakespeare was Francis Bacon.
Shakespeare. Yeah, that's definitely. I've looked into Shakespeare. That's one thing I do agree. I don't think Shakespeare was real.
So
I think it was actually someone else.
I can't trust any of history.
Well,
any
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
not fully. Like, did it happen that way? Maybe.
I can.
Was that a complete lie? Yeah, possibly.
I can trust the biblical history. I can definitely do that.
I can't trust anything, man. Constantine.
It is all through the Bible. You can find a lot of tidbits that match up through history. And
the Bible has been massively corrupted too. There's certain places that have translated the Bible that got caught doing it and had to admit that they messed it up.
Yeah.
So purpose.
The good thing about the Bible is there's historicity to it, and also there's people that know Hebrew and know Greek right now that are like theologians that can go back and read the scrolls and be able to let you know if what did get changed. Now there was
who owns those scrolls? Where'd they come from?
What I was gonna
that could all be corrupted too. I mean, even the Sumerian cuneiform tablets, they're great. They're dated a long time ago, but how do we really know? And how do we know who actually wrote them? And there's a lot of the Sumerian cuneiform tablets that mirror Enoch and Genesis.
The Anunnaki are fallen angels.
Well,
yeah, they are. They have sex with the women,
or they're just the Agigi are the fallen angels.
It's in every.
So it's such an intense. That's such an in-depth story that there's so many different layers to it.
That story is in every.
The Anunnaki is Enki and Elul are the god and the serpent figures in the Garden of Eden. It's weird how a lot of these ancient cultures kind of mirror each other. So I think it's just different tellings of the same story. We were all linked at one point in time, and then when possibly the Tower of Babel, we got scattered. These myths all got spread just in different tongues.
Basically. Yeah, he did. He divided the languages. So
yeah.
Well, yeah, because they were literally trying to break out. Like, I think about it now, and I'm like, holy crap, they were really trying to break out of here.
Well, I think it's a spiritual place, man. I don't think the Tower of Babel was a physical place. I think it's
no. It was a real they were trying to break out of the dome. They were trying to build a tower and break out of here. And basically God was like, no, I'm not letting you break out of here.
I think it was
he stopped that. Yeah. We must have been onto something then if he came down.
That's why I think it was spiritual. I think before then we could communicate
with angels,
with our minds.
We went to the moon,
everybody on Earth could all talk together. And that's how they were able to unite in a way to create the Tower of Babel.
Kind of like the internet. That is the way it is now. There's nothing we can't learn. We could go on anything and figure it out.
So I personally believe it was a physical tower that they were trying to build to heaven. Now, there was probably some spiritual stuff going on. Like, I think they were trying to reach fallen angels because I believe they wanted to start having sex with them again to create more Nephilim, because it was
logistically, it would be impossible to build anything that large.
The base would have to be like 200 miles big.
Well,
more than that.
Said
if you're talking about going,
they didn't make it.
Yeah, that's why they went to the Shinar.
It's got to be able to go 70 miles up.
Yeah, well,
the only way.
Yeah, they didn't make it to the firmament, or they didn't make it anyways. Just
but we don't know how.
Well, what if it was a Stargate type of thing?
No, they made it far enough to shoot bows and arrows.
Now, what if it was a Stargate type of thing, dude? Instead of making it,
you found a way to make it through the veil.
Which could be what CERN is.
Yes, I was gonna say that right now. Thank you, bro. Right on. I was leading right into that, bro. Thank you, Moral Bob. You kick butt. What if
they could be trying to do it again?
What if they found a way to reach down to the firmament below there and they got a crack through it? Or they're trying. Or they did something. They're cutting some veil.
CERN has got some nefarious stuff around it. They're trying to open. Yeah. I have a theory that maybe if the abyss is real,
I like to hear it. Go.
If the abyss is real, they could be trying to open it before the 1,000 years is up.
Yeah, I thought about all this stuff.
You're biblical, but you don't believe. You're on the fence, huh, Moral Bob? You're kind of on the fence.
I don't believe. I don't have a belief system. I don't believe anything.
But that's a good way to put it, though. Before the 1,000 years.
Do y'all know who Gary Wayne is?
Yeah, heck yeah.
I know who Gary Wayne is.
Like 5 times.
Yeah, he's been on my show. He's been on my show a couple times, and when he was on my show, he called himself a contrarian. And he said, all that means is that I don't believe anything until I can prove it. And that's where I'm at. Like, unless I can prove it, I don't believe it. So I don't have a belief system. I kind of entertain anything and everything because for all I know, it could all, it's all Schrodinger's reality. All of it could be real and all of it could be fake simultaneously. Until I'm able to prove anything. And that's why I'm a flat earther. Like, I can't prove much, but I can prove that this place is flat and the sky spins around us, and that's how you tell time. Like,
no, me and
beyond you are that, it's all theories.
See, me and you are different. Me and you are opposites. I finally got to the point where I'm like, okay, God, I'm gonna believe what you're showing me, and I believe in stuff that you guys cannot even imagine. Trust me.
No, try
me, bro.
Okay, here.
Try me.
There's things there. There's things.
All right, no. All of you want to test on my. Okay,
Sure.
let's see if you can handle this. Okay, what are the marks on the moon? Do you guys know what those marks are?
Cheese.
Is
Okay.
it are you going to the reflection theory?
No. I'm not going to the reflection theory. What do you think the marks on the moon are? Because I already said.
I think it's from an electrical event.
You think it's from an
on an
electrical event?
energetic, yeah,
Jason.
because the sun and the moon are cathode and anode to an electrical realm, and I think it was an electrical event that scarred the moon.
Okay, Jason, what about you?
Well, I don't know, man, but I have no idea. But go ahead. I'd like to know your theory.
All right, Josh, I want to know. Josh, what do you think those marks on the moon are?
I've heard a lot of different things about it, man. I've heard the Moral Bob thing, or it's electrical event.
They worms.
I heard that maybe that there wasn't those were not on the moon before, but then that we ended up going up there and making them. Some people said that, I don't know what it is, man. I'm not sure. What do you think?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Okay, here, I'm going to tell you what actually happened. Remember how I told you that the angels were corrupting the animals?
Yeah.
I like how matter-of-factly you speak on things you can't prove.
This is what
That's amazing.
It is. I have the body.
I'm blown away by the fact.
Epic how you can
talk to God, maybe
say it so with such conviction.
Yeah,
I know.
I can't do that, man. I can't because I can't. If I can't prove it, I can't say it with that much conviction.
No, it's because a while ago, God came to me and he started teaching me stuff.
All right.
Oh, because I was listening. You guys know Rob Skeeper, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So God bless his soul.
Rest in peace.
You guys remember
they
when
killed him? By the way.
No, they didn't. No, here's what happened with him. He just didn't alkalize his body, and I don't blame him. I didn't know about this stuff either, but whatever. What's done is done.
He was healthy, man. That was a hit.
I think Rob is right. I think you're right about that. Go ahead.
God, where was I?
You were talking about the moon.
He was spreading.
They'll kill you over
the moon,
and getting popular.
But remember how Rob,
go ahead.
Josh, remember how Rob used to say, "Let the Holy Spirit be your teacher"?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was in my room and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that because I like to learn from different people and listen to them. But I was like, okay, Holy Spirit, I'm gonna sit down in my room, talk to me, teach me. Literally sat down, started talking to me. I'm not even joking. The Holy Spirit, basically, God came to me. Started talking to me and teaching me stuff.
Were you reading the Bible when he was teaching you, or you just came and
talked? Oh no, it was he was teaching me about the days of Noah. What are some of the things that actually happened in the days of Noah? Remember I told you there's a giant snake circling the earth?
Yeah.
Yeah. I speak matter-of-factly about this. The reason I speak so matter-of-factly about this is because the body's on the internet. If anyone wants to see it, you can just type this in. Snake of Outer Darkness. It's on YouTube. You can watch the video.
Yeah, I think I've seen this before, man.
So what happened to the moon? Here's the truth. When the angels started doing their shit to the animals, there was a giant war on the earth. I'm not even joking. It was massive and huge. I'm talking about like Titan size.
Giant wolf?
Yeah, giant wolf.
Okay,
it's called Fenrir. You can read this in Norse mythology, Fenrir. And people debate on whether it was Fenrir or Hati, but whatever. We'll start with Fenrir. He's the one that chewed on the moon. Yeah, I'm not even joking. He grabbed the moon, he put it in his mouth, he chewed on it. I told you what I'm going to say is crazy and insane.
Yeah, so that's what you believe. So God came and told you that's what you're supposed to believe.
Were you on mushroom?
I don't. Okay, whatever. Look, Jesus said that the sun and moon are dead.
Where does it say?
There's just no physical evidence.
Please don't believe in that guy, bro.
The craters are
Jack.
completely
Yeah,
symmetrical and
lied.
circular. They're like lightning strikes on a Tesla coil.
Oh, they're bite marks.
They're all perpendicular.
Go look at a ball with bite marks, and then go look at the moon.
Yeah,
I made a video
I've had
about
like
this a long time
24
ago.
dogs.
I'm
I
not.
made a video about this one.
Do you have a YouTube page, bro?
Yeah, I do have a YouTube.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
bro,
What's
but I
your
shouldn't
YouTube
ask
page?
you. You actually believe it.
You guys want to see my YouTube?
What's your YouTube page? Just tell me what it is.
Why non-believers are idiots.
You're the best, dude. I love you, dude. You're the greatest. I like that because he's like, you want to know exactly what happened?
The conviction.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, no.
I trust God. I told you. I trust Him.
I know, but I trust God too. But God ain't never.
I trust logic, reason, and
I'm gonna check out your YouTube page.
I know. I asked you. You're right. You believe in some crazy.
Yeah. If you guys want to see the snake, just go to my channel. It's called "Why Non-Believers Are Idiots." Yeah. And it'll be the snake will be in the second to last video.
Another snake too, man.
All right.
I'm into it, man.
Hey, that's some interesting stuff. So yeah, I haven't heard any of this stuff, man. This is new to me, but I mean,
yeah, I know it's okay. No, most people haven't, and I don't blame them. It took me a while to learn this. Like here, I'll give an example. Remember that guy that came on your channel?
No, I know.
Talking about reptilians.
I heard a lot of stuff, bro.
Yes, I do.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to laugh, bro. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, Jason. I want to talk to Josh.
How can you not?
I'm not mad. I'm sorry.
I know. No, it's okay. I expect you to make fun of it until you see it. I expect you to make fun of it until you see what
I'm not making fun of it, dude. I gotta stop, bro.
It's okay. Josh.
Yes.
You right? Remember how that guy was talking about reptilians and all this stuff, and you said you weren't sure whether they were demons or anything like that?
Yeah.
What I want you to do is I want you to go to the Apocalypse of Abraham. It's called the Apocalypse, and I want you to go to chapter 23.
Apocalypse of Abraham is going to be you got to watch out. Okay, I just want to let you know something, brother. There's some things that we got to watch out for. This is going to be in the Apocrypha, but some of the stuff I've heard some people say that some of these are Gnostic texts, so we got to be careful, brother. Like mixing Gnostic texts with the Bible. I'm not sure if the Apocalypse of Abraham is Gnostic or not, but do you know what I mean, right? Like
don't be afraid of information.
I'm just gonna let you know it's okay. I'm not afraid of information, but at the same time, I think sometimes what I try to do is my foundation is the Bible, and I understand that something like the Book of Enoch was not put in the canon here, but it's put in Ethiopia or stuff like that. So the Book of Enoch is something, but there's historicity to a lot of the stuff that's in the Bible, and that's the reason why they would place it in the Bible, right? So now the Apocrypha, who wrote the Apocrypha of Abraham? Who wrote it?
Yeah, who knows at this point?
So there's no author to it, so they can't trace that back to the history of that's why it's kind of tough. Now, I know some people will tell me you're crazy, bro. The Bible's the same way. They can't trace it back to, but like, I try to have a foundation. Now, I don't really read the one you're talking about, the Apocalypse of Abraham, but you could go ahead and quote it on her if you like, but just make sure you let people know
hold on.
It's not canon and it's not in the Bible. So it's going to be something that's going to be apocrypha. So it's outside. So we'll listen to the information, take it as maybe historical information, but I can't just say that that's from God. You see what I mean? Okay. I can't say that I can't say the Holy Spirit helped whoever wrote that write that. I can say that the Bible, that's what I believe, because the Bible, that's what Paul says, and that's what the Bible says. So if you bring in different books, just let them know ahead of time. So when Christians are listening, they're like, "Is that in the Bible?" No, it's actually in the Apocalypse of Abraham. Because I've heard some people bash Jesus like crazy, man. Like say Jesus is not real. He never came into this earth. I've heard people bash them like crazy and then bring up the book you just brought up and say, listen, so that's why I'm like, I don't know, we got to be careful with it, but go ahead and quote it if you like, but just let my viewers know this is not canon. This is just a book.
Yeah, I know.
Take as historical
reference. Everyone can take it as they want. They can choose to believe it or not. I'm just here to put out the information.
All right, what does it say?
On the Apocalypse of Abraham. So remember how you wanted to know what reptilians were? Okay, I'm gonna read the verse, okay? And I looked at the picture, and the eyes ran to the side of the Garden of Eden. And I saw there a man of great height, terrible in breadth, incomparable in aspect, entwined with a woman of equal, basically really large. Okay? Now, here's the interesting part. And behind the tree was standing something like a dragon in form. Okay? So we got a dragon-like creature. Okay? But having hands and feet like a man, meaning it's a lizard that can walk around. Okay, and on his back, 6 wings on the right and 6 on the left. And he was holding the grapes of the tree, feeding them to Adam and Eve. So right here we have a reptilian with wings walking around, like us with legs and arms, feeding the fruit to Adam and Eve.
And
this is right here. So it lets me know. It's like,
to me, I could say that that's a fallen angel in the form of that. So I believe that I just believe this, dude, what the Bible says. There's going to be fallen angels, there's going to be demons, and there's going to be angels, right? That's what I believe. I don't a reptilian.
Yeah, now
to me,
let's go to the beginning of Genesis. What did they say? God said unto the serpent, unto the serpent, I will curse you above all cattle, above basically the creatures of the earth.
Yeah,
you're gonna eat dust the rest of your life.
And the serpent would be the devil, right? So he's a fallen angel.
It's an angel. Right? Yeah, so basically we're talking about a serpent-like creature that can walk around with wings, and he cursed it. And now, now he's basically stuck in here with us. But he's in a way worse position than we are. Like he gets no redemption. We do.
Yep.
God, oh God.
We're talking about Satan, right?
Yeah, it's Satan. We're talking about Satan.
Yeah. So it gets interesting, man. I mean, it does. I just think that when people tell me reptilians, I just believe that they're just fallen angels. I mean, some people would say reptilians are like a different breed of people, and that like they're over us.
You know how sometimes that guy like to say that, like sometimes he would see like a human and it would like part of it would shapeshift into like
I had a guy on that was talking about that.
Yeah. You can read this in the Apocalypse of Abraham. They can shapeshift. That's why the Bible says, for he masquerades as an angel of light. Basically, when he shows himself to his followers, basically, the Satan worshipers, he shows himself like he's amazing.
I have no problem saying that an angel could shapeshift. I know that it says in Hebrews 10:1 that angels can come down in the form of humans, and I think they have different bodies. When they go into the spiritual, I have no problem saying that an angel could do that. So yeah, I agree with that, man. I have no problem saying that the devil could come to you as a beautiful human and sell a woman to have sex with him or whatever he needs to do to make the Antichrist in the Revelation. I have no problem saying that. Saying that he walks the land, or that he fallen angels are helping the government right now. I mean, I think that Satan is actually breaking bread with the government, right? With people that are like in government right now, or black nobility. I have no problem saying that. So that's why I said
about flat earth, your thoughts.
Let me ask this question.
Go ahead,
let me ask this question, Josh.
More about flat earth, your thoughts.
Go ahead. What's up?
I want to ask Josh this question. When it comes to the whole Antichrist thing, how do you think it's gonna happen? Like, I know the earth is supposed to open up and like all this stuff is supposed to happen, but because we all know that the angels in the Bible had sex with the woman and gave birth to giants.
Genesis 6, okay?
Yeah, we all know this. The question is, do you think Satan in the end of days is gonna like have like, because from what it looks like he's one of the ones that didn't do it. It looks like the other angels did, and he didn't do it. So could it be that in the end of days he's gonna make one last attempt, and he's gonna like basically force himself on a woman and have the Antichrist? Do you think he's gonna do that?
I believe that like Ryan Peterson I've had on my show. Think about it. The Final Nephilim is his book. I believe that Satan is going to take a woman and doing it and it's going to happen. Yeah, I think it's going to be probably a Jewish woman. He's going to have sex with the woman, and they're going to try to have the Antichrist. And I believe that is part of what everything is going to happen. And I think that the Antichrist is going to be a Nephilim hybrid. It's going to be half human and half fallen angel. That's what I believe. And I believe that that's why he's going to have power where he could raise, bring fire from heaven and all this stuff. So it's going to be a huge deception. I think we should be ready for it. Now, does the Bible say that Satan is going to have sex with a woman and that's going to happen? No, it's just the way people are putting things together, So I don't know.
No, because I thought about this, because I was like, okay, because there's only two options we have. The Antichrist is either a fallen angel or it's a Nephilim. And I debate with myself on which. Now I do side. I won't lie. I do side more with the angel, but I also I don't leave out the Nephilim part. I don't leave it out. I'm just like, yeah, you could have sex with a woman and then get her pregnant, and then the Antichrist is born.
Gary Wayne says that there's there's 3 antichrists just waiting, is what he said. But what I've heard is from Ryan Peterson's book, which is a great book, but he actually has so many verses, just like how Gary Wayne does. So I think it's a great discussion. I'm going to have both of them on October 16th to be able to go over a lot of this stuff. But I think that, yeah, that the Antichrist is going to be, I asked him that question. I said, is he going to be a fallen angel? Is he going to be, I believe it's going to be just like he just mimics what God does.
Yeah.
What God did. I think he's going to mimic that, and he's going to try to have a actual, I don't know if it already happened already. Maybe he's already walking the earth, or I don't know. But I think it's going to be of Jewish descent. Now, what I also ask is, because if you study the Bible, you know that the original Hebrew Israelites were, of darker skin. So is he going to try to, because there's Israel right now, there's obviously lighter skinned people there. Is he going to, I'm trying to find out who's he going to choose, like who's that Jewish woman? Is it going to be someone that's going to go along with what Israel is right now? Or is he going to go along with the true Hebrew Israelites? I'm not sure what he's going to try to do with that. That's kind of more of a deeper question.
That's kind of a mystery. That's where the mystery lies. It's like, okay, it's not so much we don't know what they're going to do. It's more, how are they going to do it? That's always
and I think
wonder.
it's all part of God's plan anyway. And I do believe that he does talk to God, because in Job 1:6, he goes up and asks God, is it okay if I could tempt this person? Yes. Now, the reason why I think God has a physical location is because if you look up in Kings, it's talking about the divine council, and he's speaking to fallen angels and spirits. So that's a physical place, and those spirits can't be outside of time like we believe God is omnipresent. So those spirits have to have, so he has a court where he's speaking to them. So I think that God has a throne. I believe Jesus is the right hand of the Father, just like Stephen saw. And I believe there's an actual throne, but I do believe that God can be outside of time and inside of time. I don't believe that Satan can be inside of time and outside of time. He can't do that. I don't believe angels can be inside and outside of time. So that's why I believe there's a physical location where the angels are saying holy, holy, holy to God, but God is able to step outside of the scroll of time, and he knows what's going on. But I don't believe Satan can. But I believe that what Satan is what God is gonna do is tell him when it's time, when to do whatever he's gonna do to have the Antichrist. And I believe it's all part of God's plan. And it's gonna be interesting, man. But we need to be prepared for it for sure.
Did you? Well, I know you're mainly the Bible, but this is 100% a biblical text, because it talks about America one day being destroyed. So have you read the book of Ezra? Second Ezra. Rob Skiba talked about it. He's all like, he talked about it. He said you gotta read Ezra.
It's King James version Apocrypha. There's Ezra. There's one. Yeah,
there's like I think like 4 Ezras or something, like 1, 2,
There's
3.
There's a book that's like this freaking thick of just removed texts from the Bible.
Yeah.
Remove books, and it's a Bible of it on its
Usher,
own.
Jubilee.
There's so many
of Abraham. So
there's so much that's been removed from it.
And I'm not trying to say, guys, don't read that. I mean, I'm just trying. I just like to separate the two, just so people know, and everybody will tell me like, oh, now the book of Enoch is canon in Ethiopia, and I'm not saying that it's bad to read the book of Enoch. I've read it too, and I've read some of it too, and I have no problem. I have no problem defending stuff that's in the book of Enoch or the Bible, and people will say you're crazy, like the giants, and I have no problem defending that stuff.
Enoch's just the longer version of Genesis 6.
No, it's in my opinion, it's just more detailed. It really gives a lot more detail.
It's just the actual, like, it's the Genesis 6 just kind of sums it up in like a couple verses.
But it talks about the firmament there too, and it talks
No,
about
it's just the people of the past knew the story, so they just kind of simplified it. They're like, oh yeah, the angels had sex with the women. We all know this story.
It's just hard. It's just hard enough to get people to even read the regular Bible. I'm trying to get people to even read that,
Well,
much less have to do all that,
Even
but sometimes you can draw people close to the Bible by reading those type of books. So, oh man, I kind of like
when I was an atheist, I would tell people they need to read the Bible because it was at least a really rad story. But like, if the Bible is true or remotely true or taken from the truth, I think we're all descendants of the Nephilim. Like
oh, you mean we all have some type of descendancy from them, from the whole Noah thing?
Like it says that the sons of God came down and came into women.
Yeah, the daughters of
the daughters of man.
But they chose certain women.
Right, but
and
it says it in a way where it's like, okay, so this kind of created a whole new race in which everything stemmed from.
Yeah.
No, that's why certain people have 6 fingers and 6 toes. Some people have tails. Some people have all these deformities.
We've got godlike abilities, maybe more like Hercules, Perseus, kind of like the Titans.
Yeah,
but our energies have been stifled. I think we do have the possibility.
Not really. I don't think it's our energy.
Shit.
I don't think it's our energy that's been stifled. It's our faith that's been stifled. Because even Jesus says, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Now, what it is our faith. It's like Jesus when he was walking the earth. Personally, this is what I believe. You can believe whatever you want. I believe that Jesus had so much faith because he knew God was real that when he was on earth, he was able to do miracles like, just like Elijah, in the Bible, he was able to raise somebody from the dead, right? So was Jesus was able to raise people from the dead because Elijah was able to speak to God, just like Jesus knows God is real. So he has so much faith, he's able to do these miracles. So that's what it is. It's all about the faith. It's not, you could say energy, however you want to put it, but I believe it's the faith that you speak it and it can become, right? That's how Jesus was. He speaks it, get up, walk with me, and they walk, right?
My 10-year-old son claims to have powers to be able to manipulate wind and water. And he asked me, he's like, why do you think I have powers? And I said, because I never told you didn't. I said, everything comes down to self-doubt. Like if you can remove self-doubt, you can do anything.
Yeah.
The only thing that keeps you from having powers, keeps people from being able to do the things that Jesus did or better, because the Bible said that Jesus told the people, you will be capable of greater things than I have done. So, we are these very powerful beings. We just don't think we are. And that's all they've had to do to control us, is just give us enough doubt that we'll never reach that potential.
That's also a way they use the globe and using how we are just a number. We're not really important in life. We don't rotate. Things rotate. We rotate on everything else. Nothing rotates around us. When I really think that the sun and the moon rotate around us, I feel like we are important to where this was made. This place was created for us. It has foundations. It speaks about it. It's 46 times in the Bible. It says it. Foundations of the earth, pillars in heaven. You can't put pillars on a round ball. You can't put foundation on anything round. Even the people, the Egyptians building the pyramids, they built it so it wouldn't sink.
Well, yeah. There's so many passages.
We can't even master that today. Yeah. So I'm not gonna take and say that the people back then are stupid. They didn't know flat Earth. I'm a total believer now of flat Earth because you start to like, wow, man, like just photography. Like if you can't, people account for the Earth's curvature. This is the thing that you understand. Like when people, I was listening to the last one, Josh. So the last one you had, the photography one. It was just like, how can I take a picture of something so far away with a really good camera and not be able to see a hump in it or even
curvature
at all?
Yeah,
but it doesn't. It zooms right in, and it goes right to the spot I want to see, and boom.
Oh, and guys,
perception is weird. Perception, people get like they think it's that. It's like it's not like that, but it really is.
What were you saying, Maple?
When it comes to my YouTube channel, I used to have a lot. Let's just say I used to have thousands of more views, but when the censorship came down, they deleted my channel. I made a new one, deleted my channel again, made a new one, made maybe 10 different channels. Eventually, I was just like, okay, I got to start brand new. Yeah. So it basically they kind of did the Eric Dubé on me. I'm pretty sure you guys know Eric Dubé, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see his videos where they changed his likes and his views and all that stuff?
Yeah, sometimes I have subscribers that get taken away from me. Like I know because Moral Bob, you have a podcast too, right, Moral Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah, they take 50 subscribers away in one day one time. You know,
That
just
Yeah.
snatch it
naughty
away.
boy, you said
It happens
something
all the
naughty
time,
on
man.
that show. We're
Yeah,
taking
because Eric Dubé had like 2,000 likes, and they just completely took it away from him, and they
Yeah,
switched it over to dislikes, and like
yeah,
it was.
they're trying to basically just
Well, the flat
manipulate.
Earth is the number one most attacked topic.
Yeah,
It's
It shows
really
God.
silly. It's supposedly this really silly idea. Well, the people that think it's silly sure do spend a whole lot of time trying to prove it wrong.
If
There's a
I
lot of
tap
damage
flat, if I
control.
tap flat inside of like YouTube, it should go flatter. Brrr. It doesn't do anything like that. My search will only come up like flat chest, flat, like flat land. It's like, dude, bro, if I was rather go flat Earth,
flat chest.
yeah, but I'm just saying,
kidding.
like,
They've
you
removed
Googling?
like
Just kidding.
hundreds of
kidding.
thousands of flat Earth proof videos off YouTube.
Yeah, if you put in flat Earth, what they can do is going to give you like 20,000 debunking videos. Debunking.
You're gonna go
flat
to a
Earth.
Professor
Yeah,
Dave video.
Yeah, and that's
Every time.
yeah.
Professor Dave.
Yeah.
Professor Dave yells at somebody and makes them.
That guy's such a jerk. Jeez, that guy's such a jerk.
Dude, he's
so
like
mean.
so glaringly wrong.
Yeah,
Like anybody with half a brain could like make him look really stupid. Flat Earth Dave did it, and he looked like a child throwing a fit in their debate.
Yeah,
like, he was
mad.
being,
Yeah,
like it's like
you could tell that God is not in that guy's life, man. The way he treats people, he's such a jerk. So, but yeah. So
no, he's an atheist.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Hey, can I ask you, Josh?
Yes, sir.
Oh, when did you start believing in God anyway?
When did I start believing in God? I've always been raised by my dad. My dad just gave me a bad foundation because he was smoking weed and doing a lot of stuff that wasn't good, man. But he was still teaching us about God. So my Christian foundation was kind of shook. And I started like at 14 or 15. I would smoke weed, and then I got into partying, doing drugs, women, rapping, going to clubs. So I had like a whole 10-year part of my life from like 14 to 24 where I was just partying it up. And then I got with my wife, and I simmered down just a bit, but I was still messing with drugs. But what happened was I got into the military, and I just got spiritually, physically, and mentally strong all at the same time. And then I got back where I'm actually following God, where I can actually come and speak on a microphone because I'm not doing, I'm not doing the same stuff whatsoever. And I have, so really following God, I would say like 5 years ago is when I started like actually following God and believing and dropping everything down at the cross and just rolling with God, 100%.
So it's not completely like mine, but similar story to mine. Yeah, like I was raised Catholic, but they still had taught me like, oh, Jesus Christ, Son of God, and your Savior. Basic, the basic stuff. Of course, the foundation was bad, just like you said for your foundation was bad. So yeah, the foundation was bad for me too. Became an atheist for a little while. Basically, eventually started doing a whole bunch of stupid crap, fighting. Then eventually,
fighting too, bro. Same here.
Girls party because once you hit a certain age, it's like, oh, women.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was the same way, bro.
A little bit of that, and then eventually, I eventually calmed down. Probably like in my late teens, I'd have to say, I probably calmed down a little bit, and I was like, yeah, let me stop doing stupid crap. And not just that, I started to notice God in my life.
Yeah,
like he smacked me over the head, and I was like, okay, yeah, that was him.
Yeah,
and not just that, I've had some spiritual experiences as it is, but nonetheless, yeah, by like late teens to early 20s, I was like, okay, yeah, God's real. Flawed and all, mistakes and all along the way. He's real.
Yeah, I knew God was real. I wasn't walking with God or following God. I got a lot of stuff out of my system, which I believe is good, but really I would even call myself a Christian back then. Even I'm Christian, but I never knew what actually being a Christian was until 5 years ago. The last like 5 years, I found out what it actually is to be a Christian and how to walk with God, how to spread the gospel, how to do a lot more, so it's just different. Before I'd be like, oh, I'm Christian, just like everybody else says, but they're not actually being Christian, or it's a lifestyle, man. And it's hard.
No, it is. It really is. It really is. Like once you realize it,
it's
like
very hard, man.
Especially like even before Flat Earth, once like I found out about the Nephilim, I was like, it completely changed my mindset. I completely was like, okay, I gotta speak open about this because this is not a game. Part of it has to do with the fact that they're gonna return. they're already here, but like when I mean return, what I mean, they're gonna come in mass as an army against the human race. This is in the Bible.
Mm.
Talks about how the giants are gonna return, and it's like, oh crap. The men are not.
gonna be
The
like the days of
majority of the
Noah.
men are not.
Oh.
The majority of the men are not ready. They're not ready to fight. They fight between each other, trying to like up each other for like women or something or money, some crap. But like when it comes to like, hey, there's an army of giants that's one day gonna come. We should be training, getting strong, all this stuff. We should be doing what God says. So that way when they come, we fight them and we beat them. It's like, nah, they're not gonna do that. So it's
Yeah,
just
I think we need to be spiritually strong and read the Bible and become like just like Ephesians 6:12 says, it talks about the spiritual armor, the armor of God. Like I believe we should like focus on what that actually says. And and I think it's going to be a spiritual battle, not so much like, hey, I got a better AR-15 than you against a giant. I think it's more going to be spiritual battle. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, man, the end times. But I do believe you're right, though. A lot of people aren't ready because they just it's so much distractions out there, like Moral Bob was talking about earlier, that we're not ready at all because we're trying to pay our bills, we're trying to do this, we're trying to take care
we're
of our
trying to do
kids,
this, we're trying to do that. It's like when like paying bills is some of the dumbest crap ever. Like it's basically slavery, and it's like
that's what we're going through right now, bro. It's
and it's like
that's what the Bible talks about.
why
Your
can't
master.
people wake up and just realize we don't have to pay rent? Like you want to know how much free time we would have if we didn't have to pay rent?
My gosh, how much money you would have if you didn't have to pay a mortgage or rent. Yeah, you're right, man.
Money wouldn't exist in a free world.
Yeah,
it'd all be trade.
Barter system.
Like it would just
back
be barter
back
system.
in the day. They would just build their own place. Like once a guy would hit a certain age, he would build his own place. And then, the women would come around. Ooh, he has a house. I like that. Let me live there. Okay, give me sex.
yeah.
And,
now
then they'd
I'd
have a
like
family.
to think it was a little more complicated.
Yeah, probably a little more complicated than that.
Skip right over all the nuances.
yeah. But I'm breaking it down in its most basic form.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I watched the show Alone, and it's kind of like when I start seeing that, I'm like, dang, man, how hard would it be, man? You can't even, like, if you're just eating meat, you can't even survive. You actually have to be having meat and some type of carb because those people are eating. They're actually, some of them get like a big amount of meat.
Ask Liver King. Look at Liver King, bro. I've seen that guy eat nothing but steak,
raw
testicles. Meat. He runs like 7,000 miles a day. He's just like,
I know. You'll see people that are just eating meat though, and they're losing weight because they don't have the carbs. So it's like, it's crazy, man. Like how hard it would have been to live back then. And the way Maple was explaining it, it's like, it must have been really rough, man, to feed your family.
And that's the slave mentality that we have, right? Like anybody, you could ask as many people as you want to. 100% of people would be able to name like the 5 top corporations. None of them would be able to say 5 things you could forage for and eat.
Yeah, it's
true. Yeah, you're 100% right.
Like we are focused on all of the wrong things, and it's all intentional. Like it's all just really stupid nonsense. Like
just grow yourself.
We've gone such a long time thinking whether we can do something and not whether we should do something. Like we are way beyond what we're supposed to be.
Yeah. No, it's just the reason I came to this when I was a teenager. The reason why is because there was a guy on the internet. He decided he wanted to build his like own place, so he didn't want to pay rent. He's like, I'm gonna go into the woods and I'm gonna build like a small little house, for himself. And he did. It was like a 2-floor house. It wasn't like super nice or anything, but it was a place that he could live. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm all like, no, that don't look too bad. It's like, yeah, it needs more work, but it doesn't look too bad. You can put a bed in there, stuff in there. He has no electricity yet or anything like that, but get a blanket, get some covers, he'll be fine. Start a fire, all that stuff. The house looked fine. The police came and said, hey, you gotta leave. So basically all the work he put in for a house was stopped only because of the cops. Now, he could, let's just say he can fight the cops, but that's just going to bring more problems. So he decided, okay, I'm leaving. And, he just came back. Well, I'm going to try and live a cheap life, like a simple, cheap life. Because he doesn't like the idea of slaving away at work. He doesn't like that.
Well, if he would have stayed there for 5 years without anybody saying anything, he could have been good. There's like squatters' rights to it, but That's interesting.
Oh, really?
They'll
There's squatters?
There's squatter rights. Yeah, you
still-
have to be 5 years and you have to just be living in a place. If no one says anything, it's like it's yours. That's a real estate law.
Yeah.
Didn't know.
There's squatters' rights, but there was a guy that was here in Texas that was a veteran, got home from being deployed a million times, retired, and was like done, and he moved out into the woods and set up a completely off-grid system, and it was nice. Like he had a manufactured home, but it was nice. Like his property was well kept. He had rain collection, solar panels, but it wasn't like just jerry-rigged and gross. Like it was like nicely done. And as you would expect from ex-military, right? Like if they're not,
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, they're not going to be sloppy. So he set it up super nice. They condemned his property, took it away from him, put him in jail.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So he didn't buy the property. He just set it up.
He owned it.
Wow. That's
he owned it outright.
They don't care. That's what I mean. Like we're stuck in this like system that unless the people do it as a group, we're kind of stuck. And it's like, okay, well, how do I make my life less stressful? How do I make my life less stressful? Well, there's two ways. You kind of have to give up on money. And now I'm not saying like completely. What I mean is make very little money and get by doing that. Have a small place with a place to live, food to eat, stuff like that. Have a little bit of entertainment and then do what you can for God, but live a cheap life.
Yeah.
Live a cheap life. People need to learn to live with less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you go online and everyone's like, earn more. I want a Bugatti.
Well, I always relate it to Pinocchio, Pleasure Island.
Yeah.
Where they all like it's everything you could ever want, and it's a trap and turns you into a jackass.
Yeah.
Like, welcome to Pleasure Island, folks.
Yeah, it's true, man. True. Well, guys,
we're there.
We're coming up on an hour and a half, which I like to keep the videos about that. So I just want to first off say thank you guys for coming on. I don't mean to end it so abruptly, but I'm just looking at the time. I'm like, all right. So Maple, thank you so much for coming on.
You want me to put my YouTube channel out so everyone
please shout out your YouTube and anything you want to promote for sure, man.
My YouTube channel is called Why Non-Believers Are Idiots. I leave links to BitChute because YouTube doesn't like me. Okay. So I end up leaving links to BitChute so you can watch some of the videos there. The links will be below. But go watch my channel. Atheists, if you don't want God, I don't care. If you do want God, great on you. Go get saved, go to heaven. If you don't, well, that's too bad.
Okay. Is it why? Is it like is it split up? Is there like any
why when I say why, NON, non-believers are idiots. It's all split.
Okay, no problem. All right.
Or you can just type this in snake of outer darkness. Just type that. You can just type that in on YouTube. Snake of outer darkness. You'll either see Matt Dillahunty with you'll see Obito, or you'll see the atheist heathen thing that I had a talk. That was like my last talk, like a month ago or something.
Okay.
Snake of
outer darkness. Okay.
It'll be like talk heathen, something like that. It'll be like 3 minutes long. The video.
All right. I just want to put okay, cool. I see it. It pops up. It's got a 3.2. Dang, actually, I think I watched that video before, bro. I'm actually have half of it watched. I think I've actually seen it, bro. That's interesting. Very interesting. So I've seen that video before. All right, Moral Bob, shout out your Instagram or if you have a YouTube and also your podcast.
Yeah, no YouTube. I haven't tried that yet. I know they'd shut me down probably pretty quickly. So you can find my podcast hidden in plain sight on all the podcatchers.
Hold on, you're hidden in plain sight?
Yeah, I'm not. There's a lot of imitators. Ever since I started mine, there's like.
Okay, you're hidden in plain sight. Okay, all right. Okay. I didn't know that was you. Okay.
Oh, yeah, and then you can find me on Instagram at The Hidden Pod, at Spaces Fake and Gay, and at Everything is Fake and Gay underscores on either end. But that's where I'm at. I don't do a ton of social media. It's mostly Instagram, and then you can find my podcast anywhere. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to end this in prayer like we normally do. Father God, in the name of Jesus, thank you so much for giving us this time. Anybody that's listening that needs your help right now, Lord, please, I just ask that you put your healing hand over them. Help them with any chains that need to be broken, any type of addictions, smoking, dipping, cocaine, meth, whatever. Just please, if you could just break those chains. And we appreciate everything you do for us. Thank you for a clear connection. Anybody that needs to get closer to you, Lord, please help them do that. Help them read the Bible more. And also if you could, help me to teach better as I can. And if the flat earth is 100% true, like we believe, Lord, help me to teach it more often, and to help me to get on other podcasts to teach this. Help me and Jason get on. And I just want to say, Lord, thank you so much for everything you do. I want to pray for Moral Bob. And I also want to pray for Maple. I just want to ask if you could, keep your healing hand on them, protect them, put a legion of angels around them while they're trying to, expose this evil. Keep them safe. Thank you, Lord. We appreciate everything you do. In Jesus' name, amen. All right.
Amen.
Thank you guys so much for listening. It was an interesting show, stuff I have not ever heard about, which, it's good to hear all different sides. Thank you guys for listening. Please share the podcast. Please subscribe. Please like and please comment below. Thank you so much. God bless you.